The 2025-2026 football season is winding down, and it's excitement for us who love football. You know why? As the season ends, we anticipate the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But hey, the celebration might actually be more pronounced in North London or in Paris if Arsenal or PSG end up winning the UEFA Champions League, because both sides will get to play in Budapest on May the 30th to pick up the biggest prize when it comes to club football. Arsenal could also win the EPL and be double champions. That will be celebration galore for all Arsenal faithful, especially those who have been bantered for the last few years. Welcome to Premium Sport right here on PBO TV. Yeah, you're surprised. Amazing Kingsley, I'm back. Yeah, I just had to come do this with the wonderful guys right here in the building. I've got the ever dependable Bolu Shola Omoniyi. It's been a while I pronounced that name. Bolu is good. It's good to do this again.
Like they say, when the boss is around, you go sit down for your position. So I'm back to this side of the divide, and I'm sure I'll be back there very soon. I'm sure we're going to have an exciting show today, especially when I'm going to finish someone that is sitting beside me here. You get to know why later on in the show.
Okay. It matters a lot because it matters is anything that occupies space. And Pedro, Peter, when I met him, he was not like this. Pedro don't chop money like for this industry. Pedro cut so for show us the way. Pedro
was letter I, now is letter O.
Yeah, and the O is in capital letter. Pedro, how do you feel?
Yes, pleased to be here once again after the small break, but I love being here. Nice seeing you too. It's been a while that we've been in this space.
It's been a while I saw him. Not my guy. All right, guys, it's going to be a special show because we already have the two teams who will play in the final of the UEFA Champions League. But then we would not also just forget about our people back home. So let's do a quick break. When we come back, we'll touch on the NPFL and then the NWFL. We'll touch on that, and then we'll switch gears very quickly to what's really happening in Europe, because all leagues are already winding down. The Serie A, Inter, the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona, French Ligue 1, PSG. These are the guys that have almost won the league. German Bundesliga, Bayern, England. Arsenal, Command, the Man City, somehow. We'll touch on all of that also. And don't forget that you can always follow us on all our socials, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, on Facebook. It's Premium Sport on PBO TV. I still remain the amazing Kingsley. You're here. Don't forget. Let's do a break. We'll be back with you. Welcome back, guys. Still Premium Sport right here on PBO TV. And let's jump into it. They said ladies first. So let's start from the NWFL. Pedro, just run us through the season. It's done. And then we have quite a number of information to serve the fans.
Oh, yes. Talking about the NWFL, of course, for those of our viewers who do not know, it is the Nigerian Women's Football League. That is the full official name of the elite division for women's football in the country. So this week marked the end of the regular season. So 18 match days, come and go. Don't forget the women's league, they play an abridged version. It is the finances and logistics. So it wouldn't be convenient for most clubs to travel length and breadth of the country trying to honor a full proper league season. So unlike the men, so it makes sense to do an abridged version. So that is why you have 18 match days. And this the teams are actually divided into two groups, Group A and Group B. So each match day you have 9 games being contested for across various centers in the country. So like the regular season just ended this week, so we'll just give us the results and the implications, because of course the final 6 teams have been confirmed for the postseason. They might do the Super 6, which is usually done here in Lagos. So we have the 6 teams confirmed for the Super 6, and of course 5 teams have been relegated from the elite division. So they have to try their luck next season. Hopefully that they gain promotion when it comes for the 2027-28 campaign. So quickly, for Group A, 4 matches went down in Group A. We've got Heartland Queens. They defeated Adamawa Queens 1-0. That finished in favor of Heartland. Pacesetter Queens, one of the relegated teams, they managed to grind out a 1-1 draw with Niger Rattles. That's how it finished. Pacesetter Queens from Oyo State. So don't forget, they call it the Pacesetter State. So Ekiti Queens, they also beat Bayelsa Queens, one of the elite teams in the division. It was actually a shock result. Nobody expected Ekiti Queens to even get a draw, let alone win, but they did manage to come up with all 3 points. Then Edo Queens, one of the good teams of the division. In fact, they represented Nigeria on at the continental stage some years back. So they also defeated one of the top teams too, more like big teams, Rivers Angels. 2-1, that one ended. So those are the fixtures for Group A. So the teams that actually went down to the lower division from Group A are Pacesetter Queens and Niger Rattles. Niger Rattles is actually their first time in the women's division. So I think so experience will help them probably when they go down and try to build their way back up.
Hopefully they don't do a Leicester City.
So Pacesetter Queens from Oyo State and Niger Rattles, those are the 2 teams that have gone down from Group A. So for Group B, these are the results. 5 games went down. Sunshine Queens from Ondo State, they defeated Confluence Queens from Kogi. That's 2-0. Abia Angels is what you can call an Oriental derby. In fact, both of them are from the same state. Abia Angels and Ayudinayem Queens. So both of them, they played in Aba, and Abia Angels, they lost that one. They were the home team, so they lost 1-0 to Ayudinayem Queens. So FC Robo Queens here in Lagos, they defeated Nasarawa Amazons 2-1. Nasarawa Amazons have actually dropped points in the last 2 matches or so, but hey, that doesn't matter because they clinched their spot to the Super 6, which is all that matters. So you can afford to take your foot off the pedal. Yeah. So for Remo Stars Ladies, it was a shocking result because Remo Stars Ladies, they led 2-0 only for Danaz Ladies to come from behind to beat Remo Stars at home 3-2. Wow. So that was one of the shocking results, apart from Ekiti Queens beating I think Bayelsa Queens. So this is another second shocking result of the week. So, but that is how it finished. If you do not consolidate, your opponents can always find their way back. Absolutely. Then lastly, Delta Queens, they showed their supremacy over Osun Babes. 3-0. Osun Babes, they were just practically not existent in that fixture. Trust me, I saw clips and they were just not there. Is this how you mark? Is this how you defend? So, but anyway, Delta Queens came away with all 3 points. 3-0, that one ended. So for the implications when it comes to Group B, these are the 3 teams that have gone down. You've got Sunshine Queens from Ondo State, Osun Babes and Confluence Queens from Kogi. So these are the 3 teams that have gone down. So all in all, 5 teams have been relegated. In all, Pacesetter Queens, Niger Rattles, Sunshine Queens, Osun Babes and Confluence Queens. So these are the 5 teams that have gone down.
How about the 6 teams that get to play the Super?
Oh yes, from Group A rather, we've got Bayelsa Queens, Edo Queens and Rivers Angels. So these are the 3 teams from Group A. Then from Group B, another 3 teams: Nasarawa Amazons, FC Robo Queens and Abia Angels. So these are the 6 teams that will do battle when it comes to the Super 6. The draws will be made, I think, sometime next week thereabout. So we'll give our viewers everything they need to know. So, but if you ask me, who do I tip to win this particular emerge overall champion? I'll give you 2 teams: Rivers Angels or Edo Queens. That might just tell me Edo Queens will just, because they have been getting a lot of support from the government. Okay. So either Rivers Angels or Edo Queens.
That's actually a conversation for another day. You picking a team to win because you'll be getting a lot of support from the government. Yeah. So if your state governor doesn't support you, then you might really not do so much. Well, let's leave the ladies. Let's talk about the guys. The Nigerian Professional Football League. A particular state, the Lagos State to be precise, will be so excited because come next season, the NPFL, that's the 2026-2027 season, we'll be having 3 teams compete in the Nigerian Professional Football League. We already have Ikorodu City, who at some point were pushing to be crown champion. Like they were knocking on that door before the big boys, the Rangers, the Rivers, and the Shooting just said, no, this is, you are still a small boy, just a chill. We already have Ikorodu City consolidated their place in the NPFL, and then we have 2 extra Lagos teams who have also booked a spot to play, in the NPFL next season. That's Inter Lagos and Sporting Lagos. Bolu Money will just run us through all that went down in recent time, and then the implications, just like Pedro did.
English Premier League fans talk about the most competitive league. I laugh. Waiting on Asabi. NPFL is the most competitive league, where the team plays, I think, 7th or 8th right now can still get relegated mathematically.
Wow.
But the way the league is this weekend, it's possible Rangers can win the NPFL this time around. The last time they won it was with Fidelity Electrico as the manager. Still the one in charge now. And I think the victory they got last weekend handed them over the NPFL because
away at
Bayelsa when they were about 7 matches to go in the NPFL, they were to play 3 home matches. Rivers United 4 home matches, and the assumption based on NPFL was Rivers to win because they win all their home matches. But winning away last weekend handed them or put one of their fingers at least on the title. So for it to change, Rivers have to win this weekend away. Although they are playing another terrible team who are bottom of table, Wiki Tourist. But the question is, can they? I think if they win this weekend, they put themselves back in the conversation for the title. Because if we are going based on what we know in the NPFL, Rangers win at home, Rivers lose away, then boom, it's game over. But as the fixtures for this weekend, match day 36, Abia Warriors in Aba will play Oriental Derby against Kun Khalifat. El Kaneme Warriors will play Northern Derby against Niger Tornadoes. Rangers have Bendel Insurance to face. Bendel Insurance have been somewhat inconsistent in the NPFL this season. In Kano, Pillars will host Warri Wolves. Katsina United will play against the Ikorodu City. They are coming down again. Kwara United will host the Imba. Nassau United play against Plateau United. Remo Stars will host second to the last 19th place Bayelsa United. And the shooting like they love to call them, will play against a Barao FC. They are expected to win that one. Like I said earlier, we have Wiki Tourist hosting Rivers United. And as it stands right now, Rangers with 62 points, Rivers United 61 points, Ikorodu 57.
Just 1 point separating both teams.
Rivers Shooting Stars in 4th place also have 57. So 1 point between first and second, 1 point between 3rd and 4th. And based on what we think we know, Ikorodu may just finish 3rd or 4th. The insurance and the likes all behind them. But the relegation battle, bottom 2, Wiki and Bayelsa have 40 points each. But you see from 16th place, Kun Khalifat, Remo Stars and El Kaneme Warriors in 18th place, all of them have the same 43 points. But the teams above them, Eyiba in 12th place are just 3 points ahead of all those guys. If we go to Kwara United in 10th place, 4 points. It means it's still very, so mathematically, Barao FC in 8th place can still get relegated. Why? Because they have 6 points above the bottom of the table. Anything can still happen, like they say in the NPFL. So I'm waiting for this weekend's result. Like I said, a win for Rivers away to Wiki gives them back the advantage because I think they win at home on final day. The question will now be, can Rangers win away on final match day? But let's see what happens this weekend first.
Yeah, before we wrap things up on the home front, 3 teams, Enyimba, Kano Pillars, and most importantly, Remo Stars. In 30 seconds, guys, what do you think actually happened to these teams? Because they struggled. And at some point, all 3 teams, it was looking as if at some point, one of them or all 3 would get relegated. Rema still in the relegation dogfight.
Enyimba 6 points above relegation right now. Kano Pillars, for me, I think they have to be the most amazing team this season because they got 3 points deduction and they were bottom of the table for a very long time.
Kudos to Ahmed Musa
on the table. 2 points are relegation, but based on what we think we know in the NPFL, their last 2 games, just win one of them at home and you survive relegation. Remo Stars now, they can win one of those 2 and still go down, and their goals return is even poor. That's another problem for them. They have -6. The team above them, Kun Khalifa, on the same point, have -2. So that's 4 goals advantage between them. So I worry for Remo Stars, but people say it has happened before. It's happened, I think, twice in the NPFL where the defending champion got relegated the following season. But let's see. Who knows? They may just win the next 2 home matches. But at least this one you are playing at home, win first before we talk about the final match.
But I think for Remo Stars now, they have to take points from
win and score well.
No, they have to take points from both games. They cannot afford to win one or drop points in the other. They just have 6 points is what they should target. In fact, I was hot when they lost away to, I think, to Enyimba last time out because they scored first, only for them to just concede that Enyimba they got the needed.
I think their final match days, but because this weekend they are playing at home against Bayelsa United. They are expected to win.
Yeah,
but then they win. Well. Then Kun Khalifa above them, same points outside relegation, are going away to Abia Warriors, and Abia Warriors are chasing the contest. So they may, but that final match day, if the home team win, it will swap again. We put Remo Stars in relegation.
So if Remo Stars can just get that 6 points,
they win this and they lose. And the Kun Khalifa lose, they should probably just chase at least a drop.
Because they will only be looking at their shoulders, okay, what will Kano Pillars be playing? Because Kano Pillars are more or less safe. If they just win the game, they will probably be safe because definitely the other team above, I don't think they will do so much, you know, and all that. So, but for newly promoted team like Barao, like going as high as I think 8th position also on the standings.
Absolutely fantastic.
That is very, very shocking.
Yeah, absolutely
especially for a team from that, from up north, that part of the country, fantastic. Your first ever appearance in the men's division, in the elite division.
I think was it not Doma that did something like this?
Something similar.
Yeah.
Doma was crazy. Although they later
it was the first stanza of the season. They were almost battling first, second, third, and then they just capitulated. All right, guys, let's quickly do another break. When we come back, we have to focus on the UEFA Champions League. What went down? Arsenal getting the better of Atletico de Madrid, and then PSG also beating Bayern to set up May the 30th Budapest clash between both teams. Let's do the break. We'll be back. Welcome back, guys. Still Premium Sport on PBOT. This is a special show. Don't worry. Normal service with Bolu resumes from next week. And that's why we just had to touch on the NPFL and NWFL. And now we'll talk about the UEFA Champions League. And then we'll bring something special for you guys on the show. Just stay. I'll soon introduce that. Guys, let's look at both teams in the final. Arsenal got the better of Atletico Madrid. Well, I was not surprised because I feel on the balance of what both sides have done all through the season, Arsenal are the better team. Even in the UEFA Champions League, Arsenal still the better team. PSG, Bayern look like the two best teams in Europe, and then PSG just showed a bit more solidity, a bit more understanding, and then maybe injury worries for them. Maybe not injury worries. Maybe, some persons say maybe injury worries. Say if also Bayern had a Gnabry, a fit Davies.
If my uncle had breast, you'll be my auntie.
A fit Davies. But PSG just looked supreme. Don't forget, Luis Enrique mentioned this last year.
Madrid had Pep Guardiola.
Luis Enrique mentioned it last year when PSG were not doing too well, that they were still the best side in Europe. And when they defeated Bayern, he reminded reporters again. You guys remember that I told you guys?
Well, when you're the best time to make money is when you are winning. So I remember when people said they will rule Euro for like 10 years. I say, calm down. They are winning. That's why I keep telling people, even though this thing phrase of I prefer to have 10 players that scored this one than have it's a lie. It's when you are winning, it works. I told you that this same manager coached Barcelona where Messi scored heads and shoulders above everyone. I never said any statement like that. So it is when it's working, it's working. And unfortunately for them, it's working. They had a poor start last season. This season they had a poor start as well. And here they are in another final. I think the 4 semi-final matches, the referee took center stage in 3 of them, apart from the Bayern PSG the first leg. The Arsenal Athletic first leg penalty controversy, the second leg penalties controversy, the one that many thought should have been a penalty, the referee blew his whistle too early, and so referees are the ones trying to bring down the beauty of the game. But the matches itself, the two teams match each other, and even it seems I don't know what handball is anymore in football, because that was 100% Stonewall penalty for Bayern Munich against PSG, and they were defining the player didn't kick the ball. I said, will I kick the ball to my teammates' hand intentionally? But apart from that, I think what Enrique did in that second, he tried to outsmart Company. Company still went for all guns blazing.
Yeah,
that guy just went, especially after they got that early goal. Lock up shot, but overall the final
Pacho
won the man of the match in that game to show how defensive PSG were. But PSG have been in this situation twice. They won one, embarrassing victory for them. Then the second one, embarrassing loss for them. Last season, Inter Milan were not considering the Champions League as well, the best defensive side. They didn't even consider until I think quarterfinal and everything. And they were embarrassed in the final. Moving on to the Club World Cup, similar scenario with Chelsea, although not that Chelsea were defending like that, but they were still, in fact, Inter Milan had better chances of beating PSG than Chelsea had. But it was Chelsea that still won. So after either go to emulate Chelsea or emulate Inter Milan. But whichever, I'm not a fan of all those so and so deserves. Anybody that wins it actually deserves it.
Absolutely.
Because if it's, I told some people earlier in the course of the week that people some Arsenal fans were abusing people back then that you people, your ball is boring to watch. We are playing beautiful football. Yeah. Now, I've said it, I don't care how you play. I love Pep style. The Barcelona days, even I hate Barcelona.
But when Pep won the Champions League, it was 1-0.
It was playing 4-1.
Yeah, it was 1-0. When I score one, I'm okay.
So whoever picks the victory, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I don't want Arsenal to win, but even if Arsenal win, we'll definitely get it because they've done well to merit that title if they end up winning at the end of it. But it's definitely going to be an interesting fight. I don't think it will be the 100% all out for PSG, especially what we saw against Bayern. They would attack, obviously, but they will still not forget their art of defending.
Pedro, you look at both games and then some things should stand out for you, in all four teams. What are they?
Well, when it comes to, let us take it for the finalists now themselves. Clearly, PSG has got the better attack when compared to both teams. But you now compare the trio of Dembele, Desiree Doué, and Kvaratskhelia with probably
Trossard, Gyökeres, Saka.
Yeah, still better. Not that they don't have their own good side, their own quality, but I think PSG trumps theirs all day and all night, and also twice on Sundays. So, but on general overall play, I think both managers are good. They are Spaniards, so they've shown that why they've been tactical all through the season.
True.
I like what Enrique has done. Don't forget, Dembele, when he was at Barcelona, was always getting injuries. So prior to his transfer to Paris, all he did was just study. Okay, these are the games that I want you to feature in. These are the games I don't want you to play in. And it has worked. Dembele has never, of course, he has had one or two small injuries, but nothing more than like probably a hamstring or those that doesn't keep him as much as
5-6 months.
Yeah, all those little go for 2 weeks, 4 weeks away. Those are the normal injuries that Dembele has had since he came to Paris. But overall, he has done, as in Dembele is delivering when it comes to Europe on the continental front. This season, he has only played, he has started just 10 games in Ligue 1, of course. But that is despite the draws and the losses that PSG get, they're still topping the league, and they look good to retain their title very, very well, even if they decide not to play anybody up until the final in Budapest. So now, looking the way they came, the path both teams had towards the final, I would say PSG has had a bit more of a tougher path than Arsenal.
How?
I say that now. Look at Arsenal's fixture route now. Arsenal, they play the likes of Kairat Almaty. Fine, it is their first. Fine, you only play who is in front of you.
Yeah.
Arsenal do not make the draws. UEFA did. So, but of course, when you now look at Kairat Almaty, who are making their debut, they're from Kazakhstan. They're making their debut. Now, they also played Athletic Bilbao. They actually started their campaign away to Bilbao when they won 2-0. It was even a tough game, but they got that job done. They played Olympiacos. They played Slavia Prague. They played Club Brugge. That is Arsenal's part, the teams they've played leading to the final. Of course, they played Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, the Bayer Leverkusen, they are without Alonso, that were at their peak 2 years ago.
Go on.
They also played Sporting Lisbon. And they also played Atletico Madrid twice.
You didn't have Bayern and Inter.
Now, Arsenal defeated Inter. Arsenal defeated Bayern.
Yes,
Pedro, you have an agenda. But let me quickly remind you that I'm not even looking at the group stages. I'm looking at
the league phase.
I'm not even looking at the league phase. I'm looking at the knockout rounds. A lot of persons mention Arsenal, then they mention Sporting, and then mention Bayer Leverkusen. And I want to remind people that Sporting defeated a certain Bodo Glimt. Inter Milan are the current champions of the Serie A. Bodo Glimt knocked out Inter Milan.
Yes. So an anomaly.
No. So it means that if Bodo Glimt did not knock out Inter Milan, and Inter Milan had defeated Bodo Glimt, Inter Milan would have gone on maybe to beat a Sporting, and then we'll be talking about Arsenal, Inter playing each other. So you will not say that Arsenal had maybe a better road to the final. Now, it's football. The same Bodo Glimt, the same Bodo Glimt that we're talking about, beat Man City.
Arsenal didn't actually pick their opponents.
Bodo Glimt beat Man City.
The draws did so.
Bodo Glimt beat Atletico Madrid. Yes. Beat Man City, beat Inter Milan.
Well, an Atletico that is, I don't know whether I'll call them on decline now. I don't know, because trust me, Atletico Madrid.
Team knocked out Barcelona.
Twice in 2 competitions, in 2 different.
So you see the dynamics, guys. I'm just pointing this out because it's easy to go out there and then have banter and say Arsenal had the easier route to the final. If Atletico Madrid did not knock out Barcelona, we'll be talking about Arsenal Barcelona in the semi-final. Would that have been easier?
Well, 2 legs would have told us.
Okay.
2 legs would have told us whether that would have been probably a stone throw for Barcelona, or probably Arsenal's grit, especially in defense, would have seen them through.
So all of these are ifs, conjecture, and all of that. I had to bring this up, guys, because of the quote and unquote talk that Arsenal had, an easier route to the final. I just said now,
when you play Bilbao,
Arsenal would have played.
Almaty,
that was in the group phase.
That was in the league phase. Actually,
Arsenal would have played Inter in the knockout stage if they had not been knocked out by Bodo Glimt, and Arsenal would have also played Barcelona if they had not been knocked out by Atletico Madrid. Let's just put it out there. Continue.
All right. So coming to the semi-finals now, which was actually one of the pivotal steps for you to get to the final. For the Arsenal fixture, I felt they had the lifeline when they got that draw away in Madrid.
It could have even been a win if they had given the second penalty.
No, as in I was talking about the first leg.
Yeah, it would have been a win. There was a penalty. Bolu mentioned earlier. There was a penalty that they denied Arsenal. The Eze penalty.
But one thing I talk about when it comes to refereeing decisions, especially contentious ones like penalties, free kicks, and red cards, is that it's like more these days now 50-50.
It can either be for you.
So I don't really want to dwell.
So just move on.
Now, all those now, what did you actually play over 90 minutes? That would have that would probably amplify your cause for that complaint that you actually had. True. Now, if a side like Atletico had taken a few of those chances, fine. Arsenal also struck the post in that first leg. Same thing too with Atletico. But if someone like Lookman had 2 decent chances to have at least, he should have scored at least one of them. That was my own take. Same thing too when it comes to the reverse fixture. But Arsenal won it from that first leg. When they got that draw, they were not beaten. I knew that it would have taken something. I would have been surprised.
It would have been surprising to
see Arsenal just lose out at the Emirates. So even when they had the only 2 decent chances Atletico had, the one Solot missed is the miss kick. Adibin his leg actually touched that ball very well. It was probably heading for the far corner, top corner. So, but we never would have known. We would have probably played it over the bar and all that into the stands. Right. So, but that initial one of the contentious decisions, the one that Gabriel actually fouled, I felt it was a penalty. But for you as a player, you had taken the ball away from Raya in a bit to round off the keeper. All you needed to do, take your left leg and play it in. He used the right leg to, he was attempting to round off Raya. So the right leg had taken the ball away. He still want to use that same right leg to carry the ball. His left leg was to just take it in. So for me as a referee, I'm like, I won't even blow. I didn't really attempted with the left and he fell. The referee will point.
Okay, we can actually go on.
All Gabriel did was to defend his goal and defend his keeper who was already down and out.
True that. We can actually go on and on, talking about what ought to have been, what not. As it stands right now, the official teams that will play in the final of the UEFA Champions League, PSG versus Arsenal. Budapest is the venue. May 30th is the date. I'm saying this like for the 50th time today. Whilst we are on this, let's quickly look at standout players. So far, we now have 2 teams in the final. Maybe not in any particular order. I'll just take three, either goalkeepers, defenders, midfielder, striker. 3 from you guys. Who have been your standout players so far in this year's UEFA Champions, this season UEFA Champions? Just give me 3 names.
Well, I think number one most consistent player for Arsenal all through beginning to the end has to be Raya. I would have chosen Timber if he wasn't injured. In the defense, well, you may not like his style, but you have to talk about Gabriel.
Not for Arsenal. I'm talking about the whole
team. I thought that
overall. No, overall. Like, we've seen...
Is it for only
all the
4
teams?
From beginning till
from
now?
The beginning till...
No, it will be hard to pick up someone outside the 4 teams that makes sense. Let me see if there's anyone I can think of in Madrid. Big if. There's none. If I will, maybe Adagulea. Bayern, it has to be Michael Olise. You can't go without talking about it. Maybe 4 players always have the bias. So if I'm doing, I will probably just do one from each of the 4 semi-final teams. David Raya, Michael Olise, Kivicek, Kvaratskhelia, and what's the other team in semi-final? Atletico Madrid.
It's difficult to come.
So just stay with your 3.
They were just there.
Just stay with your 3.
If I even go by first leg alone, so maybe, but based on so I think I just do those 3.
Yeah, just go with your 3. So you, Michael Olise, David Raya, and Kivicek, Kvaratskhelia. Pedro.
Okay, top 3 players, of course. Michael Olise has to be there. Then Harry Kane, and of course Kvaratskhelia. These are the players that are actually been.
Pedro, your beef for Arsenal is very glaring.
No,
you not see the Clarice. You not see David Raya.
Okay, maybe I might even go for Gabriel instead of even David Raya. David Raya is actually enjoying the fruit of a wonderful defense.
Okay. I've heard that conversation before.
Yeah, and you know that
I can point out to some games that it took heroics from Raya to save it.
He won the man of the match against Sporting.
Is the last line of defense. So
you just said that he's got to be defense. That's why it's
now. If you want to compare the finalists now, Arsenal, PSG, when it comes to goalkeeping department, PSG's goalkeeping department is non-existent. It's either they use Chevalier or they use Safanov. Safanov is even the one that has even like
the number 1 position.
And Chevalier was the one that they bought from I think Lille also to replace Donnarumma who is in Manchester City. True. So Safanov now is even it is safe to say on paper now that PSG's goalkeeping department is non-existent. So they're just there. So it is only Raya that we know if we are to do a combined 11. We will not even know if PSG have a goalkeeper or not. So it's in fact.
I think
Kepa will even make the second goalkeeper than Safanov or Chevalier.
We'll find a way ahead of the Champions League final. I'll see if I can come around to do a combined 11 and put it out there, we won't
even know if there's a goalkeeper at all. Whether Safanov or Chevalier, both of them.
How many Arsenal players do you think will make a combined 11?
Go ahead.
I think they'll have
combined 11. Arsenal have maybe they'll
have 3.
The goalkeeper, the 2 centre backs.
Yes, they will have at the very least.
Okay, maybe one person will join.
Maybe in midfield.
One person in the midfield because Fabian Ruiz has been injured for a while. So. But front 3, nah.
They can't take.
So I think Arsenal have 4.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Now you mentioned the defense.
The 2 Arsenal centre backs will start.
Marquinhos was very fantastic.
Not because the 2 Arsenal one are greater, but maybe nobody say Arsenal no go there. So I choose the 2
Arsenal. They don't want to merit their score. So nobody will, even if for banter's sake or for the sake of okay, let us. Those players they've actually worked. They've done the work.
Now
the stats are there.
Here's what I want us to wrap up with because the time not really our friend. Marquinhos, I found out that he has played only 90 minutes of football in the Ligue 1 since February. 90 minutes combined.
Just fresher every Champions League.
90 minutes. But he has started 13 of PSG's last 16 games in the UEFA Champions League. Meaning that Luis Enrique has programmed his players
that is what
for this particular Champions League.
I even mentioned that of them and then citing his injury record.
It leaves all these top players out from the Ligue 1. I don't think teams in Spain, teams in Italy, teams in England have this luxury to pick the games that your top players will play. Because if you are playing Barcelona or Real Madrid in the La Liga, or you are facing a Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan in the Serie A, Roma, Napoli, you are playing Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, you get.
Yes, you now a city that is pursuing.
The argument has been that, because PSG play in a lesser league, they only won the Champions League for the first time. Last season, they've been playing in that lesser league. Is there anything? Is it the Luis Enrique man management that we need to, give kudos?
Well, it's part of, and their form is also good. It's part of it. Obviously, it's a second season they won the Champions League for them. So the man management is there. The players, it's what he trains them with the fluidity movement. But again, it's working. There was a time it was Real Madrid. It was a time it was Barcelona didn't enter back-to-back finals in their day. It was 2 finals in 3 years. So it's always like even Pep, his best, he didn't make back-to-back final. His best was the final that he lost to Chelsea in 21. Then 3 or 4 years before he got the second. But whichever way, everything is working out. So you pick all factors together. The Billy doesn't get injured like he used to get injured. They brought the missing piece in Kvaratskhelia. The mobility is good.
Hakimi gets injured. You play Emery, who is a midfielder. And I learned that the guy has played more games he has played he has started 20 games this season as a fullback.
And the funny thing is, I think he's
a midfielder.
I think he's even naturally an attacking midfielder.
Exactly.
So now he plays in central, plays in DM. So
Yes.
when he's working for you, everything you touch turns to gold. But when he turns the other way, you'll be like, are these not the same players? Next season may come now and Arsenal may be the one chasing everybody. Next season may come, it will be maybe one missing piece and Real Madrid back to it. Maybe one thing, not Barcelona. It could be Bayern. So for the period, it's all about them. So you have to give credit to the players and of course the manager, Luis Enrique.
Yes, sir. I'll second what he has said, but I know he has mentioned the manager, so I won't go back to manager. Let not be that we are repeating the same thing. But so this is the thing. It is not the case that a PSG play in a lesser league. The quality is still there. Or the thing is that PSG, the players now, the player personnel, they are 2 levels above every other player in that division. So Enrique has trained. They have built these players, this team, that they are so good.
Well-oiled machine.
So that any other person who is like a backup or like an understudy will still come in and do the job.
Yeah.
So he has actually built this thing. They are so good that their levels are above. Don't forget, this is not just his second season. He has actually been there. Even I think he spent 1 year with Mbappe. I think if I recall. So this is not like he's just coming in new. So and now he has actually studied. It's not the case that if he plays the big boys in a certain league on fixture that there's no chance of him losing. Every team wants to come out to play a game. There's every chance of you winning or there's a chance of losing.
Okay.
So their level, those players' levels are
quality of the players.
Wise.
You mentioned the quality of the players.
It makes sense that okay, let me save my Arsenal for for when
big boys.
Yes,
the Champions League,
the continent, and play these other guys, the support cast. They can actually handle when it comes to. And I'm sure a lot of persons may not be so comfortable with the name part of us here who are actually in the business of sports, but they may have seen this guy, he can play, he can defend, he can hold the ball well. So as it stands now, Kingsley, the level of PSG, the players, it is way above every other person. So I think it makes sense to just leave the other guys to do the business on the home front and leave the major guys for the business when it comes to continental football.
Okay. All right, guys, I promised you earlier on that we've got something very, very special for you on today's episode of Premium Sport on PBO TV. These guys will have to step out to the battlefield for Battleground. And then when they are done, we'll be back to wrap up the show. Stay right here. The football season spans 10 to 11 months. Is it proper to pick the best player from just 1 month of World Cup football, ignoring what those players have done for the other 9 months?
Well, I don't wait, Pedro. I have what I want to say. I have my opinion already, but ladies first.
I'm not lady, please. I'm not lady. I'm a fool.
Your opinion will show if you're a lady or not. So yeah, shoot.
All right. Like you said, the World Cup does not come every day. It is not Christmas that happens every year. It comes once in 4 years. And of course, it only makes sense that you use the World Cup as a major yardstick, as the major parameter for judging who the best player in the world is.
Why not? What happens to the best player in the World Cup?
Come on, the best player in the World Cup obviously wins the Ballon d'Or or the FIFA best player of the year.
Now, why did 2010 World Cup best player win?
I can give you instances.
Wait, let's start from 2010.
Those are the anomalies.
2014.
Those are the anomalies. I said it, but majority of the time, in fact, the World Cup will be 100 once it comes to the year 2030. Of course, this is just about 4 years before that time. That is, the World Cup is 96 years old. And in that time, trust me, the majority of the numbers, more than 15, have actually come from the World Cup.
How many World
a lot of instances.
How many World Cup? Because back in the days, even non-Europeans don't even win their awards. So how did we now?
In 1990, when Germany won the World Cup, German.
That's German. What of when South Americans won it?
Oh, come on. We have the stats to go with. Now, in 1998,
let's make it make sense. In a season, if you get to Champions League or a top player that plays for a top club, mostly you play average between 55 to 65 games in a year. For the World Cup, for you to win.
That's only for a team, an elite team.
If you are not in an elite team, don't worry with Ballon d'Or. If you are a Man United player, don't worry with Ballon d'Or. But what we are looking at is to play for a Real Madrid, Bayern, Man City, that you want to win the Champions League win cups, you likely play 55 to 60 games or more.
Yeah.
Then I'll play 7 matches and they'll come. Look at Messi. The season Messi won in 2022. Criteria changed automatically. He scored 32 goals in all competitions for his country. What happens if France had won the World Cup? Would you still have been the best player of the year? No. It could have switched to maybe Kylian Mbappe, who was the highest scorer in the tournament. And we're going by numbers. It means if I can't qualify, I'm playing in a country that can't go to the World Cup. It means I can never win the award before. How did what's his name? George Weah win the Ballon d'Or? His country never went to the World Cup. He never went for any international tournament. If you want to give the World Cup, just set a criteria. The best player at the World Cup, which there's an award for that. It doesn't mean before I like the old rule that you have about 60% of the World Cup performance. Okay, and there's FIFA the best award now. There's Ballon d'Or. Should be separate. Why will you compare both together?
Permits me to come in now. You know, these players now, as a football player, a professional football player, one of your major goals in your career is to at least grace football's biggest stage.
Osimhen has not gone to the World Cup. Is he not a great player?
Football's biggest stage, please leave Osimhen. That's ECOWAS.
Van Dijk didn't even go to the World Cup until he was going grey.
Just leave Osimhen. Just leave him.
George Weah never went to the World Cup.
Your best player does not play in Turkey.
Haaland is just going to the World Cup for the first time, and he has scored.
And he's a young lad.
Over 300
he can
goals.
still go for more World Cups. He can play 2 or 3 more World Cups.
Do you think it was fair for Haaland? Wait, Pedro. Haaland won every title. He scored lots of goals, but he didn't go to the World Cup. No, it was
2023.
The criteria was July 1st to August 2023. That was the criteria for that year's Ballon d'Or. And Messi was scoring 5 penalties in 1 month. Boom! It was the best player of the year.
I believe that rule then was probably the voters then, because trust me and you, we do not.
It was not voters. It is changing criteria.
The eligible persons who voted for the recipients of the awards, what they did was that they had the old rule probably in their heads.
It's because they don't have sense.
But now that 4 years on, things are looking a bit different.
It's still not looking. Pedro, let me say to you, Pedro, let's go. If Argentina wins the World Cup, Messi wins the Ballon d'Or. If Portugal wins the World Cup, Ronaldo wins the Ballon d'Or. So what happens to Arsenal players that are balling, that are in the Champions League final? What happens to PSG players that are balling? What happens to Manchester? Let me do some people, Pedro. What happens to Manchester City? What happens to Man City that will win the Premier League? But you can do penalties. I think it's good to make it clear now. World Cup have a huge say, but World Cup should not be the criteria.
Ultimate. There are players who long to go to the World Cup their careers, but injury will deny them. There are so many players now that will miss.
It doesn't. Going to the World Cup does not make you great.
Once you miss the World Cup, you feel a vacuum in your professional career as a footballer.
Welcome back, guys. I hope no injuries. Okay. No injuries. Okay. All right. You'll be getting to see more of Battleground right here on Premium Sports on PBO TV. But you can also join the conversation. Do you actually think that it is right and proper for the best player, Ballon d'Or, FIFA the best, like Pedro has mentioned, to be picked from a tournament that happened in just 1 month? Or do you go with Bolu, who said these players have played for 9-10 months, and they now have to play just 1 month, and you are basing your best player on just 1 month of football? You give an instance of you having the likes of Declan Rice, the Arsenal players, the PSG players. If they don't do well at the World Cup, they don't get to win the Ballon d'Or or FIFA the best. Have your say, on all our social media platform. Guys, let's wrap this up. Fantasy Premier League, I don't know. It's been a topsy-turvy.
For most managers.
Yeah, sometimes this season I think has been the only season where
I lost hope.
There's no guarantee.
I said I lost hope this season.
Last season, put your captaincy on Salah, go to bed. Triple captain Salah, you are fine.
Even Haaland.
This season, Haaland for 4 games or 5 games was giving 2 points. People now move to Bruno Fernandes. I think Bruno Fernandes has been even more. What's the word now?
He has been like a savior. He has been a savior for majority of the
more than Salah.
Believe me, but trust me, it has actually been a crazy season. Trust me. For me personally, it is 2 games to the end of 3 matches to the end of the campaign. I am yet to get 1,900 points. As in, it is that bad. At this stage in every other season, in fact, my last 4-5 seasons, I've crossed the 2,000 points threshold at this point. But now I'm yet to even get 1,900. I'm still stuck somewhere 1,850, 1,860 thereabout. So that's to tell you, and it's not just the same for me. It is the same story when you meet several managers out there.
True.
So the thing is that would I say the assets now, which are the players? I don't know.
I'm on
It is difficult.
2016. So
Oh, that's
you
good.
guys can still
Okay, we are like on the 20s.
Our team 1-8.
So probably this is probably the assets now. The players who are actually delivering are those players that we do not ordinarily put our focus on. You know, both in the teams they play and in the positions too they play.
I'll mention some players that have done so well for me that I don't think I can sell. Hill from Bournemouth.
Exactly.
Senesi was the go-to guy in defense. But Hill has been, I think I can only remember only 2 games where...
I think Kupi has done well for
Yes,
Bournemouth.
Junior Kupi. And then Mukiele.
Yes, for Sunderland. He has won more goals than even some attackers in some other teams.
Absolutely.
Believe me.
Absolutely.
That is a defender for them. You know, a lot of persons were pointing towards Munoz from Crystal Palace based on...
Munoz did well until he got injured. Even this until he got injured.
Now,
I had Munoz for a while. So.
Mukiele has even been better than every other. In fact, if not for the fact that he's a defender who could actually be comparing himself with Salah, believe me, because he has...
Okay, don't buy Pedro.
Now, any other defender that's probably done decently, Van Heck from Brighton, he has done decently.
Lacroix from Crystal Palace.
Yes, Lacroix from Crystal Palace.
Okay, but guys, so for this weekend we've got double game week for Manchester City and Crystal Palace. So hey, do what you need to do. For me, I'll have to triple captain. That's the only chip that I have. Triple captain. I'm putting it on Haaland. May the gods favor Haaland. Let's wrap up the show. What would be a fantastic weekend for you when it's Monday and then you look back, you say, oh, this weekend has been good.
Oh, Real Madrid win Clásico. West Ham pick points. Man City win.
Oh, yeah.
Perfecto.
Oh yes. Oh,
it has.
Yeah. Well, for and even what's going on with some Agbero people, let it continue 7-7. I don't mind.
Oh yes, for Chelsea. Okay.
I didn't mention anybody's name.
Well, for me, Inter Milan won the title in Italy, so we're just taking the view whether we win, lose or draw. But it will just be nice to just watch them now with a more relaxed mind. Now it doesn't matter what happens, we've secured the title. And of course, I don't want Barcelona to actually win the league this weekend, so let's delay it. I hope Madrid they delay it as well. And of course, West Ham United. If they can actually put a spanner in the wheels of the Arsenal, that would be good. But for the fact that I think it's okay. It's at home at the London Stadium. I think it's a home fixture at the London Stadium. So, and the last 2 seasons, they've gotten points against Arsenal at the same London Stadium. So hopefully that may be the case. Third time lucky. I don't know. They say lightning does not strike twice, but I think it has struck twice now in the last 2 seasons. So let it continue to strike a third and a fourth time. Okay. So, but it doesn't matter.
Hater 1, hater 2 against Arsenal. I'll just shake Pedro, and the reason why I'm shaking Pedro is because from one league champion to an incoming league champion. The shake cannot go that side because that way they have relinquished the league already to FC Barcelona. Guys, it's been fun doing this with you. Like I mentioned at the start of the show, join us on all our socials, Premium Sport on PBU TV, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok. Just join us, and then you get to get quite a lot of sporty content from this team. I remain the amazing Kingsley. I'll see you guys some other time. Bye-bye.
Premium Box Office TV. Everyone loves premium. Premium Box Office TV is exclusive on StarTimes.